Welcome to episode 105 of the Thunder Underground podcast. My name is Trent. I'm joined by Jason, and this week we've got Jasin Todd and Trista Mabry.
Yes, this was a good one.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. We got, if you know the name Jasin Todd, it's probably because you're a fan of Shinedown.
Yes.
He was a founding member of that band and in it for the first couple albums. So this is really cool. Trista Mabry is from the band Bang Bang and Reverse Cowgirls, which, by the way, is one of the best band names I've ever heard in my life.
I think, that might be the best band name I've ever heard in my life.
You think it's number one all time?
That's okay. Up there. That's pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, we got the two of them together when they were performing acoustic at the Shrine here in Tulsa. Went out there and talked to them and saw that show, and I'm going to have that here for you in a bit. Also play some music from Jason's new band, Vanilla Women, which is a great hard rock band.
Yeah, you guys got to hear this stuff.
Yeah. So before we get to that, I'm sorry that your Cowboys lost in the playoffs.
Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get through. I don't know how I'm going to make it through now. My favorite team in the whole wide world of anything lost.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I fucking hate the Cowboys. Sorry to all you Cowboys fans out there. I know there's a lot of you, but I'm a Giants fan. Get over it.
Right. So you were obviously going for the Packers. I'm on the same line. Basically, yes. I was going for the Steelers because I hate the Chiefs with a passion. So basically,
exactly. That
was like, since the Broncos weren't in the playoffs, the Chiefs losing in the playoffs is the equivalent of winning the Super Bowl this year. So
next best thing, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I watched, that Green Bay Dallas game was amazing. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a great game. Yeah, I saw the last half of it. But anyway, I guess this is a music podcast, not a sports podcast.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Right. Well, I wanted to bring this up. It's a little heavier than the subject matter here, but the new Sepultura song.
Yeah.
There's a couple new ones out that they have streaming from their album that I think comes out next month.
Okay.
And this new song's called Machine Messiah.
Yeah.
And the other new song that I heard last week was pretty cool, but this one just it's totally different.
Yeah.
Not totally different, but it's not, when you start listening to it, you're not thinking Sepultura.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely, yeah.
And it's almost like, that first time you heard Overlord from the new Lamb of God album, where it's got that slower build and Randy's singing clean. And I know Derek Green has sang before, but you still have that kind of feel, and it's like the guitar work and everything. It reminds me of almost Alice in Chains at one point, and then there's stuff that has a Testament vibe to it.
Yeah.
And it's just non-Andreas Kisser to me. It's it's just kind of cool how this song's kind of branched out, and then he starts singing heavy towards the end and all that. But
yeah, it's pretty brooding. It's pretty ominous.
Yeah.
And it's that way for almost half the song until it really kicks in and Derek Green starts screaming, which I really love his voice when he starts screaming and stuff. Say what you will about, post-Max Sepultura, but that band's always had some great moments, and Derek Green has got an insane voice. So I can't wait to hear more of this album. It was a pretty strong track, but pretty different at the same time.
Yeah, so many people blow it off and just knock on it because, Max and Igor aren't there. But like you said, he's got a great voice, and it's like one of those things with these other bands that, have different members. It's hey, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And they're doing it at a high level because Derek Green's great. And
yeah,
I mean, unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to see them live. I saw Sepultura with Max back in the 90s, and Soulfly several times, but I've never got to see him with Derek Green, and they're doing this tour starting in March or April. That's Testament headline tour, right, with Prong and Sepultura, which is an amazing triple bill.
We might have to go to that, you think?
Yeah. It's coming to Dallas is the closest it's getting us. So
yeah.
At the Gas Monkey, so I'm pretty sure we'll get down there and check that out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to.
That's too good to pass up, I think.
Yeah, and, if you haven't, go check, open your mind a little bit. Go check out some Derek Green Sepultura, I know that one record they did a while back, Alex or Alex or however you pronounce it.
Oh, yeah.
I really got into that one for quite a while. So, and also just random note, since we're talking about Sepultura, if you have a chance, go to YouTube and search their Rock in Rio USA performance, that they did a couple years ago.
Oh,
Steve Vai came out.
Yeah.
And Steve Vai did Roots with him. They did Bad Horsey. I mean, it was just a cool, cause you'd never expect that in a million years.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound like it makes sense at all. You know?
And yeah, I know. And it totally just, it killed. It was great. And it's just so cool to see, you know, two different worlds just smiling and having fun, and everyone's getting into it. So just kind of a side note, go YouTube that when you have a chance. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. And now they've got more albums with Derek Green than they had with Max.
That's right.
That's how long this has been going on.
Something to be said for that too, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and as far as I know, Max and Igor are still doing this Roots thing. I saw they're doing some more festivals or in Europe with it now, but, you know, maybe they'll do Chaos AD next.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You never know. Do you think it'll happen one day?
What, the original? You mean them getting back together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure like everybody does. Eventually, it's got to happen.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's been, 20 years now, and that's a long time, but I still assume at some point they'll put it aside to do a big show or a few shows, and then it'll turn into something or not. I mean, like, you know, Dokken, that's a totally different area of rock, but I mean, Dokken, you know, went 27 years or something.
Yeah, something crazy.
Without George Lynn. Well, no, I think they had played one show or something in between there. But anyway, you know, this forever, and everybody knows how much they don't like each other. So, there you go.
Well, you know.
And obviously Axl and Slash.
Yeah, see, if Guns N' Roses did it, anyone can do it.
Right.
Everyone's fucking did it, I think, except for, like, Skid Row and Sepultura.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's, you know, just, I'm not thinking about it now, but just because we're just now getting into it. But I mean, you know, and did you see that Skid Row, by the way, they brought that guy on full time, and so they're going to do an album with whatever his name is, ZP or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They just need to work it out and get Sebastian. I'm just telling you.
Hey, they're sticking to their guns, man.
Yeah, and that's great, and there's nothing wrong. You can't go wrong when you stick to your guns, but it's got to happen eventually.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, that's another one I just assume at some point will happen. It just makes too much sense to not to happen. We got anything else we want to talk about before we get into this Vanilla Women?
No.
All right, Vanilla Women is Jasin Todd's new project. They've got 4 songs out so far. Hard rock. This is, unless I'm mistaken, I think this is his first band. He's kind of started since Shinedown, because after Shinedown, he was in, Fuel for a bit.
Yeah.
He's been a part of Maylene and the Sons of Disaster for a few years. And, I know he's played with other people, but I think this is his first original band that he, started. And anyway, before we talk more about that, let's just get into this. This song's called Burn the Bridge.
Another night stuck here alone. A cigarette and a telephone. A bottle down and a loaded gun.
Bridge from Vanilla Women. You can find that on YouTube. You can buy that on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify. Get on there and check that out. They've got 3 other songs. The other 3 are a little faster than that one, but this one's just a great, mid-tempo rock song. And I love, me, my favorite band in the world is Guns N' Roses, and this has kind of got a lot of Guns N' Roses vibe to it to me. Not just, the vocals do at times, and then his solo towards the end especially just reminds me a lot of Slash and those kind of, I don't know what song to compare it to, but those songs where it's the mid-tempo rocker, or whatever you want to call it.
A groove-laden rocker.
There you go.
Jerry Miller style, goddammit.
Jerry Miller.
Anyways, interesting you talked about the vocals, because I kind of got that kind of Guns N' Roses kind of vibe too.
Yeah. But I didn't really get it on the other songs as much.
Yeah.
But anyway.
In Jasin Todd's solos, his tone is just crazy. I mean, that's why, he's just got that, it's just tone city, kind of like Slash, and it's like, it's southern, but it's dark. It's just a great track. And, I like how it gets on up at the end and starts jamming. It's just all 4 of these songs are badass.
The vocalist is in, I believe it's called Heart Shaped Box. It's a national national touring Nirvana tribute band. So you can also kind of, once you know that, you can kind of hear that influence in there a little as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, all 4 of these songs, check them out. It's funny, you mentioned tone, because I was going to bring that up, that I obviously mentioned in this interview how much I love the first Shinedown album.
Yeah.
And when that came out, I've liked a lot of bands, that were considered radio hard rock, and, Shinedown fits right in that mold, but they completely separated themselves from all those other bands to me because, 1, because of Brent Smith's vocals, and then 2, because of Jasin Todd's guitar. Because all those songs on that first album, that's complete definition of all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
Like every single track, and you can, it's got the clean guitar, the heavy guitar, but all his stuff just had something distinctive to it, to where, not knocking anyone later, Zach Myers or whoever is in Shinedown now, it's way more polished and doesn't have that, kind of rawness and that, there's just something about it that stands out.
Yeah. Well, and you got to meet this guy a long time ago, didn't you?
Right. Yeah, like way back.
Way back.
Well, it was I remember the actual day was the day that, excuse me, when Us Versus Them, the second album was released. It was when, I just remember that was the release day, because the show was 3 doors down with Alter Bridge and Shinedown opening up. And I actually won a contest on KMOD.
Yes, as you do.
Yeah, from Lynn Hernandez to, it was actually to go to the Shinedown sound check.
Yeah. And
then meet him, and I think that was the gist of it. But something happened where one of those things where sound check was messed up, and they ended up not doing it at that show. And so Lynn, got me and my ex-wife at the time, took us and said, in place of it, I'm going to take you on their tour bus, because I'm going to do an interview, for the radio, and you can hang out while we're doing that and all that, and we did that, and all 4 of them were cool. And,
well, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then another thing about that show that I've talked about many times was I walked out of 3 Doors Down like 4 or 5 songs into them.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't walk out of stuff unless I'm like, man, this is horrible, and that rarely ever happens.
Yeah.
And it wasn't horrible, it was just mind-numbingly boring after watching Shinedown and Alter Bridge.
Yeah, no shit.
Because these were 2 bands. This was Shinedown on their second album, Alter Bridge on their first album.
Yeah.
And both of them were just like full of energy all over the place, and those 2 vocalists and those 2 guitarists, just like everything about it was, hard rock heaven, so to speak. And then 3 Doors Down gets up there, and they're just like staring at the shoes, going through the motions, and it's like, listening to the CD, but just like staring at the wall.
I know.
It's
That's crazy. And where was that at?
Convention Center.
That's fucking crazy. Can you imagine Three Doors Down were ever big enough to play the Convention Center?
Right.
Well, they're playing Trump's inauguration now, but that's a whole different fucking story.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Toby Keith and Three Doors Down.
Nice.
America.
Yeah.
Bud Light and NASCAR.
Right. Well,
We got off on the thing there, sorry.
all right. Well, after we talked to Jasin and Trista, they played the Shrine acoustic set, but as Jasin mentioned in this interview, it's not entirely acoustic because he's just got one acoustic guitar, but he's got a pedal board.
Yeah.
And there were a few songs there were on a solo. He ripped it and he was wailing, and it sounded like you're listening to, a guy plugged in in a stadium with a Strat, and it was
That's great.
It was just phenomenal sounding. And she's got an amazing voice, and she's a great guitar player as well. And, so it was just really cool to see, they played everything from their Trista and the Sweats EP, and then they played a couple covers. They played Can't Find My Way Home, a Neil Young song. Wasn't really sure which one it was because I'm not diehard Neil Young.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was great to see. Forrest French from Crooked X was one of the openers. And, I hadn't seen, obviously, like most people, hadn't seen anything since Crooked X split up, but saw them live a few times. And this was just him. Obviously, it was an acoustic show, so he was opening up acoustic, just him and a guitar. And he played a bunch of original songs, and they were all phenomenal.
Yeah, really.
He's a great songwriter, just like, that Crooked X album was great straight through. This laid back acoustic stuff was all extremely well written. His voice is great. Guitar playing is great. So really look forward to hearing if he's, going to have this stuff recorded or what he plans to do with that. But so yeah, great show. Very cool to see it, and glad we got them on here. And the cool thing about this interview was everything from, widespread panic to death metal to blind melon to whatever, came up.
And that's I was going to mention that is, there's so much to talk about. I wanted to go back and, ask him more about death metal because I just find that interesting. He's so varied and he's got so many different things going on. We talked about fucking Jerry Garcia and Blackstone Cherry, and it was just it's pretty cool to see somebody that's got that much of a reach, and can stretch that far. It's cool.
Yeah, doing shows with Dellacoma.
Yeah, yep.
Talking about her bluegrass background.
Yeah, that's right.
Maylene and the Sons of Disaster.
Yeah, we touched on it all.
Yeah. Well, rather than us talking about it, let's just listen to it. This is, I will point out this was recorded at the Shrine, and as we've had a few other interviews there's, not really room to go into, so there's background noise and music playing, so hopefully you can hear everything well. But anyway, let's get into this right now. Jasin Todd and Trista Mabry.
Well, we've been dating, for, 3 or 4 years?
We did an album.
We did an album in Nashville.
EP together.
Yeah, EP together.
3 years ago or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's all 3 years ago, probably now. Yeah, so we met through Nashville. Yeah.
So was the album under your guys' name?
Yeah, it's under Trista and the Sweats, actually. Yeah.
So do you guys do a lot of those songs? Because I looked up stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of,
we do
classic rock covers and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do pretty much all the songs except for one, I believe.
Yeah, The Ghost.
Yeah, and then there's an EP or a single that she did called Ghost that's actually on iTunes and Spotify and all that. So we play that one as well.
The covers you guys choose, do you kind of let her decide that since she's singing, or?
We kind of come up with them together, but yeah, we do like some Fleetwood Mac stuff and Neil Young. Like you said, a lot of 70s type stuff, classic rock, yeah, stuff that we like.
Is that where you kind of come from, your background?
Well, my background actually is more bluegrass. I'm from Eastern Kentucky, so my family, they all, my grandfather, my great uncles, and all of those people, my aunts, my mom, uncle, just everybody plays bluegrass. But I wouldn't say that I'm a bluegrass artist, but the stuff that I enjoy is all the classic rock stuff, so I just have that bluegrass influence, I guess. I don't know.
Bloodline, you would say.
You guys change your set list up every night, or do you?
Yeah, we kind of just get a basic idea of what songs we want to play, and then when we get up there, it kind of just flows into whatever it goes into. So we don't really have a set list, so to say,
Are you guys planning to do more
Yeah.
original stuff?
Well, yeah, we have a couple weeks off coming up at the end of January, beginning of February, and I think we go out for most of February and March. We're trying to plan on maybe going back in the studio either on those 2 weeks off or when we get back in March, maybe around March and April, and start recording some new material. Yeah.
Yeah, we're super excited. We want to get new material. So
Yeah. We've been playing this stuff for a
touring
little
with
bit.
these songs for a while, which they're great. We have fun doing it, but I just
Well,
feel really inspired right now.
It's only been about 4 or 5 months we've been on the road, I told her, I was like, from what I've seen, if, you can give yourself 6 months, and if there's not really a response after that, then it's kind of like telling you it might not go anywhere. So, but this is the first time we've gotten this far out west. I mean, we started in Florida, so we've hit some of the Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina markets, probably like 3 or 4 times now. So it's definitely doing well there. So I'm trying to venture more out, outside of Tennessee, So we'll see how it goes. It's been going great though, So, it's only been 4 months, and everywhere we go wants us back, so that's a good thing,
Yeah. Was it hard to find time to fit in the writing and stuff whenever I know you've got a couple bands, you've got,
Yeah.
women, and
It is hard, because I know that you want to try to make time for Vanilla Women right now, because you guys are wanting to start getting busy, and Bang Bang is picking up, my girl band in Nashville. But we love doing this too, so definitely want to make time for that.
it's really just a matter of getting into the studio, things come pretty quick once you're in there, working, so at least that's the way we've always kind of looked at it, So I think once we get in there, we'll be fine. It's just a matter of getting in there. Yeah.
How do you manage juggling? You've got a band, she's got a couple bands, all this stuff.
Well, with the Vanilla Women stuff, like we just, it was just meant to have fun, It's like a couple guys, we're all from Jacksonville, my buddy Zach plays guitar in Mofro now, and then Damon, he has a studio, and he has all kinds of TV and movie stuff that he does as his main job, and then Adam has a Nirvana tribute band that he does that keeps him real busy, so we're just kind of doing that for fun. We actually haven't even played a show yet, so we're thinking about maybe trying to do that this year because everybody's been asking for it. But
the songs are so good; it's like magic. I've been in the studio with them every time that they've got a song, and the 4 or 5 of them go in there, and within like 4 hours, they come out with like this fucking magical song. It's just like pure magic.
Yeah,
It's so
the
good.
chemistry is really crazy. I haven't had that experience with anybody. We just literally, like she said, we walk in there with nothing, not a riff, not an idea or nothing. 5 hours later, we have a complete song. Mixed, mastered, everything.
So you just go in the studio cold.
Totally.
That's great.
I know. It's like the
all
old
out
school.
there,
It's the old school way, Like
Yeah.
Zeppelin and Sabbath and all those guys. They didn't spend months recording, They just went in there and did it, and whatever it was, it was. Because then, you start thinking about it too much. 2 months later, you might put a flugelhorn on something, because you listen to it too much,
Yeah, the way you're talking about, you really captured something.
Yeah, we do. You capture that moment when you're in there, It's and like if we were 18, we would already be in the van, doing it. But everybody's a little older now, and they, people have kids and their lives, so it's a lot harder right now, Plus, I live in Nashville, but like I said, we're going to set aside some time, I think, in April and March and try to do that.
Last week, I guess, in Jacksonville, and they were saying 2017 is the year that the Vanilla Woman is going to get some shows on the books, because there's so many cheerleaders pushing it. Like, so many people are like wanting this to happen.
Yeah. And she has Bang Bang, which is an all-girl band in Nashville, which is really good. And
super fun.
Yeah, so we try to stay busy doing just playing music, So.
I know you got those 4 songs out. Or did you do them each at separate times?
Yeah, they were all separate days. Like we'd walk in and like I said, we wouldn't have an idea, and next thing you know, we have a song 5 hours later, completely done. So yeah, that was 4 songs in 4 different days over a couple weeks.
So is it all just an up in the air thing on if you guys end up doing a full length or doing more just singles like that? Or?
Yeah, we don't know. There aren't any real plans right now. We're trying to. Our buddy Danny Wimmer runs all the festivals now in America. He does Rock on the Range, and every one of those. Danny runs it, and he's from Jacksonville. So we're trying to do a thing, or if we can get lucky, maybe just jump on like that festival circuit that he does, and then play some shows in between those, because there's Louder Than Life, Rocklahoma, Rockville, and Jacksonville. So we'll see what happens.
You guys would be perfect for all that. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just big dumb American rock and roll,
You can't go wrong.
That's what I'm saying. There's always a crowd for that, and it's what we all love doing. So it comes out natural, So.
I know you've got quite a varied stuff you do with Vanilla Women, with her, with Brett Myers, with Maylene and Sons of Disaster. It's tons of different genres. So is that something that just keeps music fresh for you? Or?
Yeah, I've always been a person that. It's weird because I love everything, from like jam music to some classical and old country and, metal. I don't like try to segregate everything, It's like I found out a lot of the metal kids hate jam band music, and the jam band kids certainly will not listen to metal. But it's all the same, It's like there's good and bad and everything. So, and I don't know, I'm a weird floater, I guess. I enjoy it all,
It's cool though. You can float to all that different stuff, though.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, I played death metal from 8th grade until I got in Shinedown. At probably age 23. But I always loved Blind Melon and the Southern rock stuff. And so I definitely have. Everybody thought it was weird that I got in Maylene, but I'm like, I've been listening to that shit my whole life. It's just part of me. But I also love the jam scene,
We listen to Phish when we're driving on the road.
We
stop Phish Live. That keeps us going.
Yeah, for a Christmas present, I took her 2 nights to Widespread Panic,
All my buddies
and it's
are
hilarious
Panic
just to
fans,
see. I call them termites, because everybody's wearing brown, It's like in rock and roll, in metal, everybody's in black. So it's funny, when you're able to look on the outside.
Really, it's the same thing.
Yeah, man.
That people can't open up and realize.
It's just all the shirts in their closet are brown.
Exactly.
The kids are black.
Totally. And it's funny, I don't own any brown stuff, so everything I have is black, so I stand out there. But the funny thing about Grateful Dead, it's like everybody thinks it's tie-dye and stuff, but you find me one picture where Jerry Garcia is not wearing a piece of black clothing, and I'll kiss your ass. Like everything, like their grand Buddha wears all black. It's like, it's just funny, man. People are funny.
I haven't seen anyone wear a tie-dye shirt in forever.
Yeah.
I wear tie-dye. Sometimes. I'm in multicolor fur.
There you go.
Yeah, as a metal guy, I kind of shied away from that stuff forever, but a couple of my friends convinced me to go to see Phish in Denver a few years ago. It blew my mind.
Man, I'm telling you. Me too. That happened in my early 20s. I went and saw Phish, and I had just never experienced anything like that. It's crazy that there's 18,000 people in the venue, and then there's another 18,000 people outside the venue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just insane. Those people, they travel like that around for bands. I can't think of any rock bands that do that. No. Maybe Tool on a very low side of it. As far as the crowd following from show to show.
Right.
That's just insane to me, because being a lover of music so much, I fell in love with it. It's the idea that you could love someone that much that you would take off the summer and go follow them. I mean, it's not for me. I couldn't do that, but I mean, God bless them. They love it that much,
Okay, I love Leave a Whisper.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite albums of the last 15 years, and there's several songs on there that would be even better if they had a kick-ass Jasin Todd solo on it. So was that like a sign of the times, or was
Totally.
that just...
No, it was absolutely a sign of the times, which was weird coming from Jacksonville, Florida. Like, we soloed too much, you know. We put solos on everything with harmonies and everything. So walking into Shinedown, it actually made me, like, not as great as a guitar player because, you know, there was 12 songs on the record, and when we first recorded it, it had no solos on it. So we ended up going back and doing 4 songs and I think it was 4 to 6. 4 of them made it in Atlanta, and they let us put 2 solos on that. So if we wouldn't have gone to Atlanta, we would have got no solos. Because like you said, it was a sign of the time. It was Linkin Park. It was that whole garage scene with like the Strokes and the Killers and all that shit, you know. And there was, all that. And there was no solos. So the record company was just like, you just couldn't do a solo. And it made me a better songwriter. But as far as a guitar player, it's so weird to not be able to play guitar. And I was trying to tell the producers that. I'm like, this is going to, it's going to date us by saying that we can't do solos, you know? Because then that's, like you said, it's part of the time, you know, instead of doing what we wanted, you know? But it was more of a singing thing, so Brent would just sing the bridges versus playing solos on the bridges. So, yeah, it was definitely not by choice, you know? But then the second album came out, and we put solos all over the damn thing. So
was that just because you had success? So
exactly. If we wouldn't have had any success, we probably wouldn't have been, because solos still weren't cool then, you know, either. So, but we pretty much got to do what we wanted to on that one.
Had a little more say so.
Yeah, thank God. Well, it's just weird, you know. It's like I'm not, and plus, like I said, I you don't have to have a solo on every song. I'm not saying that, but it is fun if the song calls for it. But we just didn't have any opportunities to play it on there. It's very strange. But it's a great record. I'm super proud of it. You know, I think it sounds really good. You know, I spent a lot of time on it and got to do it on tape. You know, so that was great. You know, I think that's why it sounds so good. And I had to fight for Andy Wallace to mix it because he's done all my favorite albums. You know, like Slayer, and he's like me with, you know, listening. You know, Slayer to, you know, to rap stuff, to Heather Nova, to Jeff Buckley, you know, and they were trying to tell me I had to fight for that. They were like, he's too old. I'm like, what do you mean he's too old? Like, to me, that means experience. But I had to fight. I had to literally fight for Andy Wallace to mix our, like, that's crazy that you would have to fight for that. But they wanted to go with someone, you know, younger or cooler and all. I'm like, there is no one cooler than Andy Wallace. Like, you hear yourself? And so I think, you know, getting to work with him in New York, watching him mix it, I mean, it's just, the guy's a master, you know, so, yeah.
Was that something you ever had any involvement in with, like, the producing side? Or no, the label pretty much picks that, you know, an A&R guy. Like later on?
Oh, well, we got to choose we got to choose Tony to do our second one, Tony Battaglia. He did a lot of our demos that got us the record deal, and we had so much fun doing it at his house and stuff, so we ended up getting him to do the second record. So, and after that, I think it's pretty much whatever Brent wants now, so I wouldn't know.
Well, you co-wrote The Rambler, right, with Black Cemetery?
Yeah.
And was that something that they approached you, or have you guys talked about writing together before, or how'd that come about?
Well, I don't know. I found those guys on a golf course when they were like 15, and it was very weird on it. You know, in somewhere in Kentucky, I forget exactly where. It's close to their hometown, and I got them the record deal and all that stuff, and we've just stayed friends throughout everything, you know. And I was playing with this band, and they were opening up for them. That's the reason I went out with the band, was because I knew they were going out with Blackstone Cherry, and I wanted to see the boys again. So just went out there, just playing songs, and that's one of the ones that came up, and just kind of went like that.
Yeah, I don't get how they're not bigger here.
I know.
It's just insane to me. I don't know, the UK, they haven't figured out on that one.
Oh, no, they're huge in Europe. Like, people don't, I mean,
such good guys.
They sold out Wembley, you know, and over here it's like, man, some nights there'll be not a lot of people in the crowd, and it's such a strange thing, you know. America's so finicky, you know.
It's like they have the sound of the times, but they're a little more classic rock than some people want, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is strange,
yeah.
It's very strange.
It's that way with a lot of stuff. It has to be a certain kind of package or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't get it either, you know. But they get it overseas. I mean, because they are absolutely huge over there, you know. So I just love watching it. It's fun to see because they're the same four boys, you know. I met on the golf course that day. They really are, you know. It's really hard to keep the original members together in a band these days, and to see them do it. And they all have their fights and stuff, but you know, they just, I don't know. It creates a sound. Yeah, they're family, you know, and it's good for them that they've stayed through all this madness, you know. So
that's great.
Yeah, I love those guys. I mean, John Fred's probably one of the best drummers of all time. It's like, you know, I'd put him in the top five drummers of all time, like as far as rock and roll. I mean, you've never seen someone hit the drums like that. It's absolutely terrifying to watch. So much fun.
He's like an animal.
He really is, man. And he can do so many different styles of music too. And it's every guy in the band has his place, you know, and they all fit. You know, they got the puzzle. You know, it's hard to do.
Well, speaking of Maylene, have you heard recently how Dallas Taylor's doing?
I did. Me and Trista actually went and saw him probably 2 months ago now, maybe.
He was still in the hospital.
Yeah, he was still in the hospital. He had just gotten his wires cut out of his mouth. He had his mouth, or Gainesville,
yeah. We were in Gainesville.
And he should be dead, but he's alive. I mean, he's going to be probably blind in one eye, so he wears a patch now, so he looks even crazier than he used to. And his ear got ripped off. You know, I'm laughing because you have to know the family in Dallas. Like, he would be laughing. You know, he's laughing. Yeah, he's laughing about it. I mean, he's alive, which is the best thing. You know, and the sad thing is we were right. We were just starting to write the next record. You know, and I talked him into going back to like the first 3 records. You know, because everyone loves the first couple albums. You know, especially the first 3. And so we had got one in the can, and we were starting to get into the studio and start working it, and then that unforeseen accident happened. You know, he was just riding on a 4-wheeler and came over a hill and didn't see a sign and hit the sign, and it just ripped him off of it. And man, he had internal bleeding and broken ribs. Like his jaw was wired shut. I mean, it was horrible.
We played the benefit.
Yeah, we did a benefit for him in Birmingham, and everybody came out. That was good. Raised a bunch of money for him. Brad has a lot to do with that. Brad Lehman, the bass player, set up a benefit for him and set up an online thing, and I think we raised like,
yeah, it was a good amount.
It was a good amount of money. I think we raised like over $20,000 for him, which is great. You know, it was cool to see all the fans come out and show the support for him, because I'd love Maylene forever, but I didn't know how big they were. Like, as far as like the fans they have are like, I mean, they are just like through and through fans. I mean, it was, and just that sound, like hearing kids talk about them, how they pretty much started that whole Southern metal thing, you know, it's like they get credit for that. And you've never been and like played cooler songs, and just like, it's so much fun playing those Maylene songs. I mean, and Dallas is such a great guy, you know, that's what sucks about all this, you know. It's like, that guy would literally do anything for you. If he had $5, he's going to give you 4 of it, you know, probably all of it, you know. And but it looks like he's getting better, you know. He's got a speech therapist, so you know, he had a mild stroke, so it fucked him up pretty bad, you know. But he came out of it, so that's the thing, you know. So hopefully within the next year we'll know what's going on, you know, and hopefully get back in the studio and keep the train rolling, you know.
Yeah, I remember reading that like a year ago or something, that 5th album was in progress.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just kind of curious if anything had happened after that. You said it was just the writing.
Yeah. Well, we got one in the can, and you know, we had tons of ideas. We had Jake back on board too, and he was writing. That guy's just got tons of riffs, and you know, of course, Dallas had all kinds of ideas, and bringing Jacob Bunton back in that did all the stuff on the first 2 records. And was trying to get back, because I knew I was a fan of Maylene. I wanted to hear more of the first 2 records, you know, myself. So we'll just see what happens, you know. Hopefully we'll know something within this year, you know, the new year.
I just feel like, as a listener, you know, I never heard of Maylene until, like, you know, Jasin got that gig, and like being there, I just feel like if you can be present at a Maylene show and not headbang, you have no soul.
Yeah, it makes you move.
It brings it out in everybody, you know. Those
riffs, it just it does something to you. It turns you into a madman. You know, you cannot just stand there and listen to that stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know you guys kind of mentioned some stuff. You got awesome stuff you guys are doing, you know, women, anything else looking forward to later in 2017?
Really, just trying to push this stuff, you know.
The best part recently of 2016, I know for me personally, is we were lucky enough to get on a few gigs with JJ Gray and Mofro, and that was like the highlight of 2016 for me. I was so grateful for that, you know?
Yeah.
So we got to play like sold out Georgia Theater with what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So.
And to see it work, you know, just because it's just the two of us, and but it's not just straight acoustic. You know, we play a lot of, I do a lot of
like
pedals
space
and
travel.
You know, so we do a lot of wild shit up there, you know.
Stuff, you know.
And it was good to see it in front of 4,000 people, you know, and it's. Because you can do it in front of 2 people, or you can do it in front of however many thousand, and if they like it, they like it. And
it went great.
It went over great.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's what I told her. I was like, you just got to hang on, you know, because it gets tough out here. Like, you know, tonight, there's nobody here. You never know where you're walking into. You know, tomorrow there might be 100 people. It's like we never know. It's a strange thing about being a musician, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for so long that I still get off on it, you know, and so really what I'm looking forward to this year is just doing our stuff, you know. Like, I love all the other stuff I get to do, but really trying to focus on this stuff, you know. So it's been going good, and I'm, you know, hopefully we can secure a proper tour. Yeah. I'm thinking we got a couple friends and some other bands that I know that might take us out, so that's kind of what we're looking forward to do this year, you know. Blackberry smoke, I'm just saying, I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah, Charlie.
Come on, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
So talk a little bit more about Bang Bang.
Well, Bang Bang is a super fun project. Vanessa Oliveira, she's in this project, she's doing like a suitcase kick drum percussion sit-up thing with a snare and, you know, percussion toys, but she's an amazing writer, one of the most talented writers I've ever known in my entire life. She's a writer for BMG in Nashville, and she's written like hits all over country radio and stuff. But and then Minnie, she's our keyboard player, and she's just freaking insanely talented. She was an artist for like Sony for years, you know, and she's like R&B, but she can do anything. She can yodel, and, you know, she comes from a family background. But the three of us are completely different, you know.
But they have great chemistry. It's kind of like the Vanilla Woman thing. It's like, because it's tough, because they're a vocal band, and it's like
all three of us sing,
you
so
know,
there's no lead
so
singer.
It's cool to, like, your vocals either mix together or they don't.
Yeah.
You know, you can't fake that. You know, and their voices work so well together, and the
there's-
songs are fun.
Yeah,
you know?
we say fuck a lot in the songs. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just funny. It's almost more like a comedy show mixed with like good music. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
but the
so
songs
fun.
are there. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
the main
good
thing.
songs.
Yeah.
So we're having a lot of fun with that. We're about to go into the studio and record a full album. We're trying to work on doing that like spring. But Vanessa's going to have to eventually have vocal surgery at the 1st of June. So that's probably going to put a little hold on everything, but we can still write and, you know, get the material. So she should be done by like midsummer and be able to tour and get on the road and stuff. So yeah, we just played in Nashville.
We're just all trying to do as much stuff as we can, because it's either that or sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like if somebody else isn't working and I have an opportunity to work, like, I'd rather go work.
Yeah.
Because I like to play music and I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So, you know, I just...
You only go around once.
That's what I'm saying. I don't try to, you know... Back in the day, it's like, it's weird to be in all these different projects because, like, I was only in one band my entire life. And up until I got in Shinedown, you know, and then that was the only other band I'd ever been in. And now all of a sudden I've turned into a fucking merc somehow, you know. It's like I prided myself on only being in 2 bands until I was in my, you know, 30s.
Yeah.
But now it's like I got all this other stuff on. But I mean, what else am I going to do? You know, and we love doing this, but we also have our other stuff. So, you know,
it's fun.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
we're having fun.
Yeah. So we can focus on this as our main thing, but if other stuff comes up, you know, it's either that. I mean, why wouldn't we do it?
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to sit on the couch. I did that enough.
Well, I got a final question for you. We had Dellacoma on here earlier last year, and
man, we had some fun with him.
Yeah, I've seen the band live a few times at Sunset Riot. You know, that dude's all over the place, running through the crowd and the rappers.
Yeah.
It's like Dell.
How, when you're playing acoustic, is he the same way?
Totally.
Yes.
Like, from the first song, he's out in the crowd
Hanging
on the bar.
rafters.
He did that,
Upside down.
Me and him will probably do something this year if he has the time. It's like I told him I really want him to focus on his stuff because it's so good. It's so much fun, and
we would love to get to Australia and do some shows with him.
Yeah.
I've been talking about it forever. Australia is like my dream destination, and I'm like, please put us on some gigs. Take us.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing some writing. He's going to come, I think, to Nashville and stay with us. So get him a couple. Maybe try to get him to work with some people out there and
They're
get some
so
really good
cute
songs,
together too. They have like this romance, adorable chemistry. It's so cute.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We just ran around the southeast, for a couple weeks, and it's just so fun to see somebody that has that much enthusiasm for music still. And it's a lot of people get jaded, and he just loves it so much, like I do. So he's such a nice person. I know, man. Like the first time I met him, he was like hugging us, acting like we had been friends forever.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, that's how he is. I mean, he's just a beautiful soul, and he's a great entertainer. So hopefully we can do something if he comes back through. I'd love to do another run with him.
He would. He ran out the back door of the club and keep hearing him singing, and then he'd come through the front door.
Where is he?
Where is he? It was awesome.
Oh, there he is.
Totally. Yeah. Oh man, it's so much fun. So much fun. He's such a great guy.
Yeah.
Cool. We appreciate your time.
Yeah,
no worries.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's awesome to meet you guys.
Yeah,
you too. Yeah.
Hopefully you can stick around.
I mean,
It's gonna be late, I think. So.
There you go, Jasin Todd and Trista Mabry. Very cool. Very glad to have them on there. Thank you very much to both of them for taking the time out of their day. I know he mentioned before we started that, like a lot of vocalists, she on vocal rest before she was going to sing. So he said she probably won't say much, but then she talked a lot. So that was kind of cool, to hear from her as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for them for taking the time out to do that. And like I said, if you liked what you heard from Vanilla Women, which I'm sure you did, because how could you not like that?
Yeah.
Get on there and check out the other 3 songs and download them on iTunes. Look for more from these guys this year. And Trista and the Sweats, look that up as well. Look up Bang Bang, Reverse Cowgirls. Maylene and the Sons of Disaster.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool to hear that, I know what Dallas Taylor went through and is going through was kind of still up in the air if he's ever going to be able to get on stage again. But, Jasin made it sound like it's promising that maybe in a year from now they can reevaluate that and maybe we'll get lucky.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yep.
Also, let's just say thanks to the Shrine. Steve Liddell, they got a good thing going on over there.
Yeah.
There's always amazing shows, and they're always cool with us going in there early and talking to people if we have to. So thanks to them. That's badass.
Yeah, Steve Liddell and Donnie Rich. That's
Yes.
It's a great venue too. It's not
Yeah,
just
it is.
not just saying that because we're going. We hang out there a lot. It's just it sounds great compared to most venues that size, and it's just a cool setup. I dig it.
Definitely.
And speaking of that, later this week, Friday night, there's a show there. It's punk bands, and it's called Punk Wars. And I think there's some deal like if you show up dressed as a Star Wars character, you can get in for free.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I could do a good job of the Hutt.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, I'm doing it.
they're going to do a Princess Leia.
Oh, I can do even better Princess Leia.
Yeah.
In the fucking Jabba the Hutt bikini.
There you go.
That's what I should do.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think if you don't show up dressed as Star Wars, it's only like $5, but whatever.
Hell yeah.
It's Madewell, who we've played on here before, and Redneck Nosferatu, who we have the vocalist and bass player, Lola, coming next week.
Yes.
So you'll hear more about her later, but hey, get out there and watch her live because she's a badass.
Definitely.
There's also The Decomposed and Follow the Buzzards are on this bill. So that'd be a cool one to go check out at the Shrine if you're in the area. All right, well, if this is your first time listening, we appreciate it. TheThunderUnderground.com is the website. SoundCloud.com/Thunder-Underground is where all these previous podcasts are hosted. We've had on guys from Avatar, Soil, Sons of Texas, Megadeth, Corrosion of Conformity, The Obsessed, Europe, Warrant,
Drowning Pool, Dead Metal Society, Caroline Spine, Trickster. We've had all kinds of guys on.
Battlecross, Shooter
Battlecross.
Jennings, Ian Moore, Insight. Yeah,
Definitely.
just go back and check them out. There's 100+ episodes, previous episodes.
Yeah.
We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and YouTube. And get on YouTube, subscribe, follow us, because every once in a while we go live on there and have separate things from what we do here on the podcast. We had a Rocklahoma, not really a preview, just our kind of reaction to what, the lineup was last week.
Yeah.
So go check that out. And then we've had on, reviews of the new Metallica album, the new Avenged Sevenfold album, Black Sabbath concert, all that great stuff.
Yeah, go check it out. If you're bored, we got you covered.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's 100. This is 105, and there's several of those on there. So you probably got 115 things you can listen to. That's
exactly.
That'll keep you busy for days on end.
That's right. We're here for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thethunderunderground@gmail.com. Send us your music or your band, info. If you want to buy a t-shirt, we've got them for sale, $15. Get on there and email us. All right. Until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.